Hi everybody, welcome to the fourth episode of Sundays with Soumya. It's story time today, and today we are going to discuss a book called Mrs. Lovewright and Her Cat Paulus. Now, this book is a children's book, and it has been written by a very famous American author called Lord Sagal. But as we know that even though these books are named children's books, they hold whole walls of knowledge in them. And this book is one such book. It is very simply illustrated, but it is very simply illustrated, and it is a very simple story, but it has a world of wisdom in it. Through the very simple drawings, the author has managed to show us how we ourselves affect our relationships, and we ourselves hold us back from true connection because we expect a relationship to be something that it is not. We cannot accept relationships the way they are, but we inflict our expectations on our relationships, causing them to be something which they are not meant to be. So it's a very simple story, but it is a beautiful story, and I thought about sharing it with you. The video ahead will have the story recited to you by your story. Please forgive the editing mistakes. And if you did like this video, please let me know in the comments. Let me know how this video resonated with you and how you thought if this video is true or this video is relatable to you, and if you thought it helped you out in some way. And I hope you enjoy the video. See you next week. Thank you.
This is a story of Mrs. Lovewright and Paulus her cat, written by Lord Sagal and illustrated by Paul O. Zelinsky. Here we meet Mrs. Lovewright, a woman who is always known to be chilly. Afraid to admit a deeper sense of loneliness, she sets about to set herself free from her body discomfort by getting herself a cat. She entrusts Dylan, the grocery boy, to get her a cat. Let it be any color, she said. I don't care, as long as it looks cute on my lap. And Dylan, the grocery boy, delivers. He brings home a cat who Mrs. Lovewright later names Pearly because she finds the cat so cute and thinks that the cat will purr on her lap as she always imagined. You and I are going to be very cozy, said Mrs. Lovewright as she poked the fire and took off her shoes. But just as she turned around, she saw that Pearly had taken a seat on her stool and had his tail wrapped around him as tightly as possible and would not budge, nor would he smile. That day, Mrs. Lovewright went to bed, hoping and waiting for Pearly to warm up to her. And so begins their saga of mutual defiance. Mrs. Lovewright with her demand that Pearly be a compliant companion. She tries to make him sit on her lap and purr so that she might pet him. But Pearly does not want to do that. He pounces on her legs with his claws and lands on the door move. Soon, Mrs. Lovewright decides to call him Purless because of his absence of purring. As the days go by, their fights escalate. In one colorful fight, Mrs. Lovewright gets a black eye because Purless fights her toe, and when she kicks him across the room, she lands on the broom, and the broom hits her eye, giving Mrs. Lovewright a black eye, looking like someone punched her in the eye. As time passes by, their scuffles grow, and so does Pearly, because Mrs. Lovewright is feeding him, and she is feeding him because she loves him, despite his vexing defiance. One day, just as Mrs. Lovewright was making up her mind that Paulus is a foul cat, she enters her bedroom and finds that he is curled up in the middle of the bed. So happy that she might at last have gotten the cozy making companion she always imagined, she tries to get into bed and tries to make place for herself, but Paulus has different ideas. He has occupied the whole bed with no place for Mrs. Lovewright and pushes her down to the floor. Tired of his defiant face, Mrs. Lovewright tries one final time to make him comply by seating him across the sofa and trying to make him purr, hopeful that he might listen this time. But Pearless, in his own defiant way, bites her nose and runs away from her. That is it. Mrs. Loveright is tired of Pearless and sees him out the door. Later on in the day, when Dylan comes, she very regretfully informs him that she no longer cares for Pearless. There will be no cozying with a cat, Dylan, she says as she shuts the door. Silently, she crawls into her bed, her unbitten toes chilly again. She hears Pearless meowing outside the door. At first, too hurt to relent, her heart eventually softens, and Mrs. Loveright lets Pearless inside. You don't have to shout, says Mrs. Loveright as she gets out of bed to open the door. Pearless comes streaking in, right between Mrs. Loveright's legs, and lands on the broom, which fell and tripped Mrs. Loveright so that Pearless lands on the bed just before Mrs. Loveright can get inside the blanket. And thus, unable to change Pearless, Mrs. Loveright finally gives up and goes and lies beside him, just as he is, finding comfort in the way that he is. And that is the way she and Pearless have stayed for all these years. Sometimes still Mrs. Loveright swears that she heard Pearless purr. But who knows?